12 Conference basketball, part of Rivalry Week, presented by Wendy's from the Irwin Center in Austin, Texas, along with former Oklahoma State guard Brendan Manzer. I'm Mark Dealey. Texas, a team known for protecting the basketball, has turned it over on 3 of their 4 possessions, leading to an early Shaka Smart timeout, and Baylor off to the hot start, up 6-0.
Yeah, the turnovers from Texas, but defensively, Baylor, a team that has struggled on that end, has been excellent here in the early going.
Shot off the mark from Medford, a Yancey rebound. Only 1 shot attempt so far for Texas, and that was an Isaiah Taylor 3-point attempt that missed.
Mark, we've seen this Baylor zone a lot over the years. I feel like you've got to get the ball flat against them along the baseline.
Well, Prince helping out on the defense on eBay, gets the steal, comes the other way, missed the shot. The tip not there. In the air, taken by Wainwright. Skipped around to Medford. Medford ran into eBay. Taylor trying to take it away from Motley and does so. Taylor in traffic to the rim, lays it in.
What a great play by Taylor. The defensive awareness, Motley wasn't tough with the ball, and you saw right there how great Taylor is in the open floor.
Motley just steps around eBay and lays it in after Texas showed some pressure after the made bucket.
One of the things that you love about this Baylor team, and it's really been a theme over the last couple years, they move it and share the ball in a great way, whether it's in the half court or in the full court, as you saw right there. Very rarely with Baylor does the ball stick in anybody's hands.
Felix. Here's a 3 from the left side that's long from Yancey. Freeman feeds Prince. Gets that to roll over the rim. 10-2 Baylor.
Boy, how talented is Prince? I mean, that guy right there will be a pro. So versatile. Can score in multiple ways. He has to continue to force his will here this afternoon for Baylor to get a 5th Big 12 road victory.
Lammert turns with the left hand and scores.
You can get looks, Mark. You got to be patient, hit the right spots. Lammert, a great job of flashing into that open area and then making a quick, decisive decision based on what the defense gave.
Prince thought about the 3 after Yancey gambled defensively. Freeman driving the baseline, giving it up. Motley doubled and traveled. Timeout. 15:01 to play first half, and an early 6-point lead for the Bears.
They do a +4 rebound margin. They've got to commit less than 12 turnovers, in my opinion, as you see Rico gathers there. And then finally, Taurean Prince has got to play well, but they need a fresh Prince, if you will, a Jonathan Motley and Al Freeman, somebody like they've had in the past year, step up and have a special day to complement Prince.
Well, Texas in conference play averaging about 9.5 turnovers per game, best in the Big 12, but they've turned it over, make that 5 turnovers now so far today. And Medford the other way, the driving lay-in. I couldn't even get it out of my mouth, and another turnover.
Every one of those turnovers have just been really unexplainable. It hasn't had really anything to do with pressure from Baylor. Texas guys too antsy, not seeing the defense on the weak side.
Here's the freshman Kerwin Roach, who knocks down the 3. And he has not been a great 3-point shooter in his freshman year, just 28%, but he hits his 13th of the year.
Well, he is a supreme athlete who shoots it well enough from the perimeter that you have to respect him, because he's got an unbelievable first step, and that helps set up what he's best at right now, and that's driving the ball.
Eric Davis with the physical defensive play picks up the foul. That's an area that Shaka Smart mentioned to us not long before tip-off here today, Brendan, how much Texas has to try to match that physicality of Baylor.
And they'll be fine if they'll just settle down and take care of the basketball, like you were alluding to earlier. And it's uncharacteristic. They've been the best in the Big 12 Conference at ball security. I mean, you look at their 2 games, their 2 wins against West Virginia, Mark, they only turned the ball over 15 times in those 2 games combined.
See, number 2, Rico Gathers, has checked in for the first time for Baylor. Again, he's been dealing with a stomach bug. Here's a high skip pass. Taurean Prince Gets in the lane, and there was a little bit of contact with Kerwin Roach, and that's called by one of our officials, Jeb Harkness.
And that's Prince just using his experience, his size advantage to get the angle on Kerwin Roach right there. And I like what I see here in the early going from Prince. I mean, he's a versatile guy. You know, other than George Niang, the most versatile player, in my opinion, in the Big 12 Conference.
Medford sets it up. Still directing traffic as the shot clock. It's 10. TJ Maston in the game. The jumper from 14, but has his own miss. But then it's stolen by Taylor. Taylor jump step in the lane, and he's fouled.
And that's the second time that Taylor's taken advantage of a big for Baylor picking up their dribble near the high post area. As soon as Maston turned around, Taylor read it perfectly. Just a little run through. So good slashing there in transition, as you just saw.
It's been interesting to watch the evolution this year of Isaiah Taylor, who's become an even better distributor this year.
Well, first of all, as a third-year guy, he's matured, which you would expect. And his relationship with Shaka Smart's been terrific. They've been good for each other. I mean, he's grown and matured, but you can tell over the last month or so, he's trusting his teammates.
1 and 2 for Taylor. Very good point guard matchup today. Lester Medford and Isaiah Taylor.
This league has great point guard play, and here's two of the best right there. Medford, amazing story, I think, because he's a transformed two guard. Played in the backcourt last season alongside Kenny Cherry, and his learning curve really wasn't that big. He's done a terrific job in that transition, and obviously Isaiah Taylor, what he's done all year long has been terrific and goes without saying.
Shaka Smart thought his team generated a turnover there, but bounced on the sideline out of bounds. Is staying with Baylor. Both teams at 60% from the field. Baylor 6 of 10, with Texas 3 of 5 from the floor. Medford floats it up. Wow, the degree of difficulty on that shot was up there.
That's what makes him tough. I mean, he's become a pass-first guy, but his speed can allow him to get baskets, and his ability to score keeps the defense honest.
Attended Mack, one of the freshmen in the game. He feeds Shaq Claire, who's come in. Floater in the lane off the right side from Felix, deflected, and out with it comes Jake Lindsey. Lindsey had it punched out by Felix, but Gathers is there, and he scores with the left hand. First bucket for Rico Gathers.
It'll be interesting to see, Mark, how Gathers continues to play over the next few minutes. Remember, he's missed 2 of the last 4 games with illness.
Tried to deny the pass to Claire, and now Jack Claire loads it in.
And there's the difference between a length of a Motley or a Maston on the back end of Baylor's zone versus Gathers. And Gathers is just going to use his big body and play directly behind. Texas, intelligent, knowing he's going to do that, they go right into Claire. It's that deep post position.
See the Bears, most of their production has come in the paint. Low pass off the foot of Gathers. Run out by Eric Davis. Davis. They're going to call the blocking foul against Medford.
Baylor, a nice start up 6. They have tremendous balance. Sometimes
Consecutive Big 12 regular season title. They rattle off a bunch of wins in a row. And they have K-State today in Manhattan.
Yeah, we talked about how Shaka Smart has done such a great job over time with his team defining roles, you know, with the seniors and mixing in those 3 freshmen. How about what Bill Self has done? He's really settled into a 7-man rotation with a little additional sprinkle of a Diallo or Bragg at times, playing 9 guys. And Landon Lucas has been a huge key for Kansas' 6-game winning streak, anchoring the middle for the Jayhawks.
Well, freshman Eric Davis knocks down a couple of free throws to make this a 4-point game. Felix harassing Lindsay up the floor. And a little bit of contact there. When it's that deep, going to get that call.
But I like what Felix is doing. Lindsay, a freshman who has played a lot more over the last 4 games, and that's to give them more ball security and a way they can stretch out defenses and put Prince at the 4. And then there's a little contact leading up to that. And obviously, Mark, the home crowd never likes it, right?
Not at all. Lindsay, though, with the finish there, the freshman from Salt Lake.
Another reason he's playing quite a bit. They trust that young man, and it helps. You know, a Freeman, a Medford, King McClure, who's out there now, takes pressure off them to handle the basketball on the perimeter.
Felix eyeing eBay, but a 3 from Roach. eBay going after the rebound, but it comes off the floor to Freeman. So far, Baylor has been able to keep eBay from being much of a factor. eBay going for the block, missed by Freeman, but there's the putback by Jonathan Motley, who has 6 points.
And eBay a touch late on the rotation right there. He was coming from the high post, and when he did not get the block, that freed up Motley for the lay-in.
Motley perfect from the field to start the afternoon. Baylor and Texas, 2 teams separated by about 100 miles, meeting for the 247th time. Davis's 3, just a little bit long.
Notice where Texas is running their offense. It's above the free throw line. You got to get it below the free throw line, make that wing cover you, or draw that low man out. Whether it's the true corner or the short corner, this provides a lot of options for you offensively if you'll be consistent in getting those spots.
The reach around by eBay. He commits the personal.
Jonathan Motley, 27 and 10 against Iowa State Tuesday night. Watch him come in right here. Great awareness, playing with tremendous confidence.
They tied a career high with those 27 points against Iowa State. Had 10 boards as well.
Tell you what, he likes playing the Cyclones, doesn't he?
He does. He has punished them. 3, Freeman, well off the left side. Mack able to tip the rebound into the corner, and it's run down by Isaiah Taylor. Mack floats it up. And that's number 2 on eBay as he knocked down Prince.
And that is big for Texas.
Decision time for Shaka Smart. Right now he's leaving eBay in there.
Well, with no Cam Ridley, eBay is your guy that protects that paint. And he's not just a shot blocker, Mark. He's a terrific rebounder out of his area. And when you play Baylor, you've got to match them on the boards.
Motley just fighting his way through. eBay not wanting to pick up a 3rd foul, and Motley continuing to dominate from the floor. 8 points.
It's just great basketball. Recognition. eBay has 2. You immediately go right at him because he has to be careful.
10-point lead, the largest so far for Baylor. Taylor a 3. Really not his game there.
Yeah, and you see Baylor shading Isaiah Taylor. They're going to corral him, and they'll live with that all day long.
Well, later tonight, we've got 2 big-time matchups for you. First on the college side at 6:30 Eastern, Tyler Ulis and 14th-ranked Kentucky. They're coming on. They face Texas A&M in College Station, which got the host game day today. Then at 8:30 on ABC, the NBA, Steph Curry and the Warriors trying to rebound after getting thumped last night. They battled Chris Paul and the LA Clippers.
You know, it's not surprising that you get to mid-February as we head into March, and both Kansas and Kentucky starting to play excellent basketball, gearing up for postseason. And at those programs, that's what matters, what you do in March.
Wainwright. An open 3 from Medford. Great ball movement by Baylor. And Shaka Smart is going to use a 2nd timeout here in the first half. Right now, the Bears have the answer on the road. They're up with just over 8 minutes to play in the half.
She's in the show.
This is going to be bigger than drones.
It's going to be bigger than
Winning the Big 12. 3 of the last 20 for the Wooden Award for the Player of the Year.
All 3 come back for their senior year. You throw those 3 pictures up on a graphic, that's all you need to know that the Big 12's tough right there. And that's what's special about this conference this season. So many 3- and 4-year guys that not only have experience, but guys that can flat out go.
eBay on the bench for Texas with 2 fouls. You got Shaq Claire in there. 2 on the shot clock, and Felix throws up a 3. And once again, Texas unable to solve that Baylor zone.
Got to get the ball flat.
Wainwright a 3. Good. Ish Wainwright has really come alive over the last few weeks, especially from 3-point range.
And that may seem like a quick shot from Wainwright. And I think earlier in the year, maybe just 2-3 weeks ago, he might have passed that up. But Scott Drew told us last night he's got tons of confidence in Wainwright right now. Made 7 of 10 from 3 the last 4 games coming in.
So make that 8 out of his last 11. Quick pass in, Claire, and that was the feed from Lammert.
Where was the ball, Mark? I mean,
It was flat.
along the baseline. And I think you can use Lammert there a bunch because he's going to have vision at 6'10". He's intelligent. He's really a very, very good passer. I think that he needs to touch it each possession.
And ends a 12-0 run for Baylor. Also, Texas had gone over 4 minutes without a field goal. Baylor, those hit 6 of their last 8 from the field, but an offensive foul whistled that time on Lester Medford, and he picks up his 2nd personal. So that's going to send him to the Baylor bench.
Let's look right here.
Yeah, that elbow got high.
Once you extend, and then I tell you what, Taylor did a great job. He was in great defensive position. You know, if Medford has a slight angle there, officials let that go.
Lammert. Claire, quick pass down low. Taylor, though, in amongst the trees, throws up the short corner jumper.
Well, what a tough shot right there from Taylor.
But the last couple of trips now, Brendan, they're having better success against that zone, getting the ball along the baseline.
Yeah, I think it's pretty simple, Mark.
Packed house here at the Irwin Center. Many come to their feet. Wainwright passed up the shot, found the open man, Motley. And just when you thought, hey, the hot 3-point shooter is going to put one up, boom, quick pass and an easy lay-in.
They share it great. I mean, nobody better. The ball moves. Unselfish play right there from Wainwright. You said it. And after he hit the 3, you could understand him pulling another one.
Way off the right side from Holland, tipped by Claire, but here comes Lindsey the other way, and he traveled. Took too many steps. 6 turnovers committed by the Bears.
What's a tough shot. Taylor doesn't get what he wants, but he keeps his dribble alive, and he waits until he gets Motley off balance before shooting the floater. That's a great finish. And then here's the drive. Wainwright 3. Nah, better shot right there at the basket. Excellent offense at both ends.
Motley has 10 points. It's a perfect 5 of 5 from the field. And Wainwright has 3 assists. Get it into Claire. He shoots short with it. Felix looking again for Claire, but to the baseline, Taylor. 3 from Davis.
What you got right there in the tap out from Connor Lammert. They go right to work. No hesitation.
Foul goes on Taylor there. And the weekend on the NBA Sunday, we've got a couple of great games for you. Coverage begins at 3 Eastern on ABC with NBA Countdown. Then at 3:30, King James and the Cavs taking on KD. And the Thunder, and finally at 8, right here on ESPN, Kobe and the Lakers taking on Derrick Rose and the Bulls. Both games streamed live on Watch ESPN and the ESPN app. Front end of a 1-and-1 hit by Lindsey. Only his 19th free throw attempt of the year.
And he comes from great basketball bloodlines. Father, the Utah Jazz general manager, Dennis Lindsey. And he plays like a guy that's been around the game. And really heady. And he'll be good at Baylor because he's got nice size at 6'4". And as his career develops, he'll become more of a scorer as well.
They're really the backup point guard to Medford now, but he can play that 2 or 3 spot as well. Davis launches. And Maston got a bit underneath Lammert there, and TJ Maston earns the foul. Number 2 on Maston. 15 fouled against Baylor. There's Cam Ridley. They say he's maybe 80%, but they're not going to put him on the floor until that bone is 100% healed. And some contact, and Taylor fouled. If Texas is able to get Cam Ridley back at some point, it would be a huge bonus. But it's really something right now, Brendan, that they have to assume that he's not going to make it back. And if he does, so much the better.
Yeah, it'd be a bonus. And hopefully for his sake, and his team, that he can come back at some point.
Boy, he was playing some great basketball.
Playing the best of his career. And he looked good. He was moving good. I think people assumed that when Shaka Smart came that wouldn't be a good fit. But I think that shows why Coach Smart is one of the great up-and-coming coaches, young coaches in the country, adjusting to his personnel.
Ridley fractured his left foot in a practice on December 27th. Baylor has the ball in a 12-point lead, just over 4 minutes to go, and Taylor wanted to push off there from Lindsey. Wainwright fires a pass to Gathers. He's double, tries to fight through it, and lays it in. That's what Rico Gathers can do down low in a double team. Just barrel his way through it, and there, Lindsey takes the charge. Offensive foul against Texas. That's number 2 on Taylor, who picks up 2 quick fouls.
Well, the big fella plays below the rim, but does a terrific job right here, hiding along the baseline. Points off those turnovers. Those were part of the points in the paint. Texas has done a much better job since early in the game taking care of the ball, but Baylor, their half-court offense has been terrific. Started inside out, the extra passes and ball movement. And then on this other end, offensively for Texas, they have not gotten very many good looks against Baylor's zone.
And right now you have Isaiah Taylor and Prince Ebay on the Texas bench with 2 fouls. Wainwright. You had Motley, who had the size advantage on Felix. Freeman drives. There's another case of points in the paint for Baylor.
That's too easy right there. Even after some movement and an interior touch inside, you have to contain better on the perimeter. Again, Baylor, terrific balance. So you have to defend at all 5 spots and respect the scoring ability of every guy on the floor.
Lammert. Motley with the rebound.
That's better. That's better progress offensively. I think Coach Smart would take a 12-footer pretty open along the baseline with Lammert as much as he can get.
A 14-3 rebounding edge for Baylor, and with Wainwright and Felix matched up, the pass over the top, and Felix commits the foul. Right now, Texas just having some matchup problems.
And Baylor recognizing it quickly. And that's what you have when you have an experienced team. And then you have Lindsey right now in there, Mark, running the show with Medford on the bench with those 2 fouls. But even though he's a freshman, just a heady basketball kid coming to Baylor. So he sees things early as well.
After the 9th team foul against Texas, Wainwright misses the front end. And Lammert just hanging out in that right corner. There they find him. Reverses and scores. It's like he was an invisible man there for a while.
Maybe they heard you over here, Mark. Yeah, he was wide open on the original ball going to the right wing. And again, they need to run it through him. He's a good passer at his size.
Jumper from Gathers. And that's really kind of one of the few uncharacteristic shots for Baylor in this half. Roach giving a look at Claire. He's going to dribble it into the lane and have it taken away with a whistle. And that's going to go against Roach.
Well, I like Roach because he's a willing driver, but there's not been enough ball movement to provide a gap to go. He's moving right there.
You're saying Gathers was moving?
Yes.
Yes. That's...
Yeah, on first look, looked like Gathers was there, but Roach really did a nice job of sideswiping. Doesn't get the call, but the point's still the same. If you're going to drive it against Baylor's zone, you got to have some ball movement first.
So Roach now on the bench with 2 fouls. Texas just trying to hold serve here, so to speak, with 3 key figures on the bench, but now one of those has popped back off. Taylor is in there playing with 2 fouls. Prince. Motley. Well, what a first half for Motley. A dozen points, and he has not missed a shot.
Well, he went all the way to the rim, and Shaq Claire completely forgot to put a body on him.
Taylor, pass underneath for Lammert, stolen by Prince. Prince carried it. Turnovers even now at 7 apiece.
Well, Motley, a dozen points. There's Prince to drive. And look at Claire coming late into your screen. Here's Motley. All the way from the high post. Really has shown a nose for the ball. And playing well. Back-to-back games. 27 and 10 Tuesday night. 12 and 2 here in the first half.
Baylor has matched their largest lead of the day of 16 points. Playing with 2 fouls. Isaiah Taylor down to 2 on the shot clock. And well off the right side. It didn't hit the rim, so it's a shot clock violation, even though Claire had rebounded. Just 21 seconds left in the half, and Baylor can hold it here for the final shot.
And Scott Drew is going to go back on this final possession with Lester Medford. Well, offensive substitution. But how good were the minutes that Jake Lindsey gave him? Ball security, ran the ball club, extended their lead when Medford went out with 6 minutes left.
So on the offensive side, playing Medford with 2 fouls for this final shot, most likely of the half. Baylor's hit 7 of their last 9 from the field. 4 seconds. Medford from 17. Texas wants a foul, and they're going to get it. A foul is called at the buzzer, and I think they're going to call this on Prince. Well, regardless, this is going to be the lowest point total in a half for Texas at 22. 24 had been the previous at Texas Tech. Now let's take a look here. The officials meeting, seeing if the foul occurred with time still on the clock. Well, that's the baseline official, Jeff Hartness, who made the call. When his arm went up, the clock was at 0. But we don't have the audio for the whistle on that particular segment. So if it's a foul on Prince, it would be his first. So some discussion as to whether that foul occurred before time expired.
And would that be number 7?
That would put him at the line.
Yeah.
Well, let's look in real time here and listen. I think it came after. It was very close.
Yeah, it was close.
Officials are reviewing. Our officiating crew, Joe DeRosa, Terry Oglesby, and Jeff Hartness. Actually, the foul that they're looking at would be on Texas. DeMarcus Holland. So a frustrating first half for Shaka Smart. And it ends with an extra little zinger here at the end of the half with a foul called on Holland, not on Torian Prince on that rebound attempt. Joe DeRosa explaining to Shaka.
When Shaka Smart goes from wondering if he might be at the line for a 1-and-1
to Baylor being at the line
for 2.
At 10 team fouls, so it's a double bonus. They're saying 1-and-1, but it should be 2 shots. Because that was the 10th team foul. And Prince hits it.
Well, that's big, because you go from maybe making it a 14-point game, a 4-point swing if Prince converts here.
He does. And Baylor's going to take an 18-point lead to the locker room. A little short on the 75-footer from Davis. Good half for Scott Drew's Bears. They lead at 40-22. So let's join Adnan Burke and Sean Farnham in the studio for the GPEG in the second half for Baylor. Even without Gathers playing a lot of minutes, big rebounding edge for Baylor, 15-5. But then again, Texas only had 5 rebounds because Baylor only missed 9 of their 26 shots.
Yeah, not very many defensive rebounding opportunities.
So Texas ball to begin half number 2 in Austin. eBay, who was limited in the first half with 2 fouls. He tries to bounce it to Lammert. Instead, bounced it right to Prince, but stolen back by Yancey. He's going to the rim. He's fouled first on the reach by Freeman. And Prince was unsure that a whistle had blown, and he probably fouled Yancey a second time, but the foul is going to go against Freeman.
And Texas, Mark, fortunate to get the ball right back. And you saw eBay catch it. He is not comfortable in traffic, and he needs to catch in isolated situations. And he was double teamed right there. I think that's why you've got to utilize Connor Lammert as much as you can this second half, whether it's the short corner, whether it's the high post, mid post, whatever the case, because he can handle traffic situations from Baylor.
They get it to Lammert. There it is to Lammert.
So there's the guy that's got to touch it for me each possession.
Almost stolen by Felix, but it rolls to Freeman. Prince puts it on the floor, runs into eBay. First rebound of the game for eBay, who was without a rebound or a point in just 8 minutes in the first half due to 2 fouls. And that foul called on Wainwright.
Just as we talked about, here he is. He popped right in there. You got to find windows. Hands up, Taylor, boom. Because you force Motley to make a decision. Do I shade eBay? Do I shade Lammert right there? And the ball's basically a high post touch, even though Taylor dribbled in there. And other than underneath the basket, great spot to have it at the high post.
Well, eBay tangled up with Motley, and Motley picked up the foul, his second. And a timeout called by Baylor. So Scott Drew sits in something here inside the first minute of the second half, and he wants to talk to his team. Speaking of that, we look at Lenardi's bracketology coming into today with KU and Oklahoma still 1 seeds. He has Texas as a 5, Baylor as a 6. How about Texas Tech? They may be the hottest team in the conference right now.
They're playing with a lot of confidence. Tubby Smith, of course, we know he can coach, and he's really got those guys playing well. And the beauty of it is they're in the Big 12 Conference. So this late run they're making, they can rely on its strength to hopefully sneak in.
Got Lammert here on the near side baseline. Shot clock's down to 10. Taylor looking at Lammert. No, he didn't. Gives it to Felix. 3 blocked by Wainwright. Medford driving, dumps it off. Motley is fouled and 1. And Texas still does not have an answer for Jonathan Motley, who still hasn't missed a shot today. 7 for 7 from the field.
He's got great feel. Watch Lammert go. He just sits tight, knows that if he is patient, that Medford's going to lay it off to him. And nice finish right there. Not really a physical guy. Absorbed a little bit of contact to get that to go in.
There's Motley's first miss. Comes at the free throw line. And Jim Hartness is saying that Taylor did not bring the ball in legally. And now he's going to talk with Joe DeRosa. Well, something that you just kind of blow by thinking that it's going to automatically be thrown in illegally. Oh, okay. I think what happened here is Jim Hartness didn't realize that the free throw was missed, and he was thinking there should have been an inbounds pass. So they'll reset the clock.
Yeah, because we're watching this other end.
So just hey, we're all humans here. Jim Hartness thought the free throw had been made, hence should have been a baseline inbounds. No harm, no foul.
Yeah, definitely. No harm, no foul.
It's just helped this capacity crowd voice a little more of their displeasure the way things are going right now.
Yeah, it's not the first time these guys have had fans on them. This is a good crew today.
eBay triple teamed, has it stripped by Wainwright.
Just totally uncomfortable right there. 3 bodies around him.
Wow. What can you say? Jonathan Motley, 16 points. He is 8 of 8 from the field.
And I like that Texas is trying to get paint touches. Now they have to be careful, those guards on the perimeter. Felix, Yancey, Isaiah Taylor, of where they get the ball to Prince eBay.
Spinning in the lane, Taylor, tough shot, score. Texas putting up the pressure, and Wainwright and Medford cannot connect on the inbounds pass. Texas ball.
And here's the touch inside to eBay, and watch him catch. And he's just uncomfortable. Baylor just patient, forcing him to make a play. They understand that. He can be turnover prone if he's not isolated.
Got Shaq Claire now in there for eBay for Texas. On the baseline, doubled. They look to trap. Lammert tries to fight through it and travel. Lammert saying he can still use his dribble or get a timeout there, but didn't get either.
And they get the ball to short corner, and on the weak side you had both Taylor and Yancey flash to the mid-post area. And you got to communicate better with each other. You send one.
Long pass to Prince. Claire back there, but there's Motley. They had the numbers with the pass over the top.
And right now for Baylor, Mark, you essentially have 4 terrific ball handlers. Obviously Medford and Freeman in the backcourt can handle it, but so too can Prince and Wainwright. So it's difficult to pressure them in the full court.
Largest lead of the game for Baylor at 20. Taylor in a crowd loses it. Now tries to get it back, ties it up. Possession error will give it to Baylor.
A lot of bodies up. There's a link to the floor pass. That's an easy one for Prince and Motley. Convert on Claire. Motley, has he missed today, Mark?
He has not. He is 9 of 9. His only miss was the miss from the free throw line trying to complete a 3-point play.
Of course, you getting those looks, and you're Motley, you're not going to miss.
Most of the scoring for Baylor's come in the paint. Freeman fouled in the lane.
You know, here's what's great about the Big 12. I'm sitting here thinking, you have, in my opinion, 6 really, really good teams. You have Tech coming on. And when you have a league that the majority of your teams are quality ball clubs, then each game becomes about matchups, much like the NBA. You know, why in the world has Texas swept West Virginia? Why has Baylor swept Iowa State? West Virginia and Iowa State, those are excellent ball clubs.
Aussie inbounds, Motley. How come Kansas has such trouble with West Virginia, especially in Morgantown? A lot of teams do, though.
And now you have Texas, who's dug themselves a hole. And you'd say the good news is they are a team that can pick you up full court, so they're equipped to make a run back. But Scott Drew has gone small, if you will, by putting Prince at the 4. And that's not a good formula for pressuring Baylor in the full court.
Yancey fouled on the baseline. Kansas is in Manhattan to play K-State later tonight. They have the 1-game lead over West Virginia. OU, Baylor, Texas, all tied for third right now. And Texas Tech, you know, you got to keep in mind, first day of the tournament in Kansas City, it's 7 versus 10, 8 versus 9. If Iowa State's not careful, they may have to play on that first day. The way Texas Tech is going right now.
Tech and Stillwater tonight, 8:30 on ESPNU. And you got to think they're going into that thinking that's a game that they can get on the road.
Tip. No third opportunity, but it will stay with Texas. Timeout. Texas just trying to find an answer against that Baylor zone. They trail at 48-26.
She's in the show.
25th ranked Baylor on the road at 24th ranked Texas. 48-26 Bears, who have led throughout in this game. Texas ball out of the timeout. Texas today 2 of 12 in three-point shooting. Baylor's only attempted 3 threes today and hit 2 because they've scored so much in the paint. Missed by Taylor. Outlet pass. Here comes Medford.
You know, Texas has had a couple of problems taking care of the ball, uncharacteristically already 12 turnovers. And then they're running their offense. Everything's above the free throw line. And that's really played in allowing Baylor to not only crowd Texas, but more importantly, keep Isaiah Taylor in check.
Prince fires it down low to Gathers. Texas came in averaging only 9.5 turnovers per game in conference play, best in the Big 12. In fact, they had a 5-game stretch in January where they went 5 games without turning it over more than 10 times. Well, they got it down low to Claire. That's what Texas wants to see more of.
Well, they'll keep doing that with Gathers on that back end because, again, he will play behind and you can get Claire in an isolated situation.
Well, later tonight, we've got 2 big-time matchups for you. First on the college side, 6:30 Eastern. Tyler Eulis, 14th-ranked Kentucky, face Texas A&M in College Station here on ESPN. Then at 8:30 on ABC, it's the NBA. Steph Curry and the Warriors looking to rebound after a loss last night. They battle Chris Paul and the Clippers. Largest lead has been 22 for Baylor. Right now up 20. Jumper for the baseline. Freeman.
Boy, Freeman quietly compliments these players for Baylor.
Medford picked up a couple of fouls in the first half. There's his third.
And you got to be careful on the closeout. And it's a young guy. That Davis, yeah, you got to close out, protect the drive, be there on the catch. He leaves his feet, and Freeman calmly pulls up for that mid-range jumper.
Seat for Medford, 7 points, 3 personals. He is the first Baylor Bear to 3 fouls. You got Motley and Medford actually with 3. Here's Claire, scored down low last sequence. He does so again. Over to Texas. Well, what we were talking about earlier, you assume you're going to be able to get the ball in bounds with no pressure.
It's been a little bit of a theme here the second half. Yeah, just careless by Baylor right there. But a good job once again of Texas. And getting it inside. Now watch Claire continuing to try to get post position and get Gathers on his hip.
Roach down for Claire. Well, that's 3-point play looks, and that's out of bounds off Gathers. Connor Lammert able to keep it for Texas.
Well, you got to finish these. You know, you're only going to get X amount of those, and you're down 20, and it's magnified because of the deficit. You know, Baylor turning the ball over rather easily. Hey, both these teams take care of it very well. And both have had their stretches here this afternoon, struggling with ball security.
Roach dumping it off for Lammert. Couldn't bank it in, but Claire is fouled. Jack Claire had played his first couple of years at Maryland. Sat out last year to practice with the team and not getting a chance to play. And maybe he's an answer down low for them offensively today.
Well, it's not been perfect, but I like it a lot better here the last couple possessions. And Scott Drew, in that last dead ball, inserted Motley in there for Rico Gathers. I think part of that is Gathers probably, he's not 100% because he's battling illness. But I think right now, for multiple reasons, you get Motley in there. Obviously what he's done offensively, but I think more importantly, his length on the back line is necessary.
Seven Mack is checked in for the Longhorns. 8 points off the bench for Claire, who came in averaging 3 points, 3 rebounds a game. Got that one to fall.
He's a space eater. They got to keep trying to get him the ball. It's, again, better to get paint touches than the hoist contested threes.
To shoot. Prince has the size advantage on Felix. The contact. Unbelievable. Wow. It's been that kind of day for the Baylor Bears.
Baylor smart, patient in this possession. They get the switch. And that's tough for Felix. There's that great first step, the length, athleticism. Felix just 6 feet tall.
Well, yeah, well, what else is he going to do there? You're talking about matchups, and obviously Felix is at a disadvantage there.
Well, Baylor keeps doing a good job of forcing Texas into switch situations. At some point, you're going to have to consider, just going mano a mano, because there's no question that Baylor can create some matchup problems, particularly when you have Prince on the floor.
Claire right back out. Davis kicks it to the corner. Roach long with the three. Offside rebound. Torian Prince. Prince driving. Another and one for Torian Prince.
Taking over right now, Prince. Watch this, little hesitate, frees the defender, blows right by Matt. We talked about it earlier. What had to happen today for Baylor, at least offensively, Prince had to bring it, which he's doing it in a great way right now, and then he had to have somebody else with a special day. Prince now with 11, Jonathan Motley with 20. There's 31 of Baylor's 55 thus far.
Well, I'll get your opinion, Brendan. And Buddy Hield, to me, no question right now, is the Wooden Award winner, National Player of the Year. But in the NBA draft, there's a chance Torian Prince may be the first player taken out of the Big 12.
Totally agree. They draft on many things other than the ability to score. And Buddy Hield will be a great pro. And obviously, you're not saying that, nor am I. But Prince is like those baseball players that are 5-tool guys.
Claire, they push him out a little further, and he banks it in from 14 feet.
And a great job getting it above Motley right there. Motley, great length to contest.
That is a career-high 11 points for Shaq Claire. Motley, he's not going to miss today, apparently. He's 11 for 11.
I cannot tell you how much Scott Drew has grown as a coach over the years. I mean, he put Claire in a ball screen situation. That is not Claire's strength. And you saw right there, he has trouble getting back. The hedge and getting back, that's a lot for the big fella. And you have a much quicker Motley rolling to the basket.
Felix offline with the three. Freeman lost the handle, but fouled by Taylor, and that is going to be his 4th.
Well, here's your X factor for Baylor. Motley, pick and roll. A lot of distance for Claire to cover. Too great, in fact.
Beginning on March 2nd, 11:22 to play here in Austin, 58-33. Baylor on top of Texas. What a great year in the Big 12. Its highest RPI ever, which right now at 598 is the 2nd highest of any conference since 2000. The ACC a little better back in 2003. It's been that kind of year in the Big 12. Here's Baylor, a team that's lost 5 of their last 7 in the series to Texas, including the earlier meeting this year in Waco. And really from the opening tap, Scott Drew's Bears, they've had a dominating day. Still 11:22 to go, but the lead is up to 27.
You know, it's human nature when you're completely in control of a game, but Baylor's really had no lapses. They've allowed no even mini runs from Texas.
Got it down low, but missed by Yancey. Another opportunity. eBay able to get the rebound and is fouled. And right now you have Isaiah Taylor on the bench with 4 fouls for Texas. Baylor foul is on Jake Lindsey, his first. And it's team foul number 7, putting them at the line for a 1-and-1. And Taylor having to sit right now with 4 fouls.
Well, when you play Isaiah Taylor, it's easier said than done, but you have to that counts though, Mark. You have to contain him, keep him in front in the half court defensively, and you have to keep him out of transition. And it's very rare where a team is able to, for the majority of a game, be successful at both those. But that's exactly what's happened so far here today. In addition to Baylor offensively, they've been great.
Davis has it blocked by Motley, who touched it last. Going to stay with Texas.
Again,
ooh. I don't know if Motley got a hand on that or not. I don't think he did.
I don't think he did. Well, that's the length of Motley. It's tougher to take it to him on that backside than when you have Gathers in there. And we're certainly not saying Rico Gathers is not an important piece as he checks back in. It's just that they're 2 different pieces. And when you talk about Baylor, you talk about balance offensively, sharing of the ball, bench production, and then Scott Drew's got a lot of different pieces that he can put together based on who the opponent is on that particular day.
Well, Baylor right now, according to Joe Lenardi, is a 6 seed. Texas a 5 seed. Of course, that can change after the outcome today. And fluid document that Lenardi has going all the way up until Selection Sunday. Prince traveled. Baylor's 11th turnover.
Well, that travel really just kept Baylor from having a numbers opportunity. See Prince going to get a rest.
He has 12 points, 4 of 8 from the field. eBay bumped by Gathers. Well, if you have to settle for a lot of long-range shots against this zone, Brendan, I guess you need to hit some threes, and Texas has not done that today, 2 of 14.
Well, they force you to make shots. I mean, that formula for several years now against Baylor has been held true, but they have not been as good defensively as they've been in the past. They are last in the Big 12 Conference, Baylor that is, in field goal percentage defense. As I mentioned earlier, 7 of the last 8 teams coming in this game have shot 48% or better and have had success at the three-point line. But they've gotten the ball below the free throw line. They've gotten the touches inside the paint. It's got to begin there, and Texas just hasn't been able to do that.
Tipped by Lammert out of bounds with 6 on the shot clock. Well, after tonight's Big Ten matchup between Purdue and Indiana, don't miss SportsCenter at night with the two Johns, Bucci and Anderson. They'll have all the highlights from college hoops, NBA, NHL, spring training underway now. Arizona and Florida, and also an update from Daytona. It's coming up after college hoops here on ESPN. Wainwright goes up with it as the shot clock was expiring and it didn't hit the rim. It's Texas ball. Shaka Smart trying to find an answer today. It's been hard to come by for the Longhorns. We're midway through this second half. They are down 24. Been down by as many as 27.
You know, one of the reasons Baylor is so good at closing out games, Mark.
There's a three from Connor Lammert. Lammert hit 3 of 4 3-point shots for a team high 15 points in the first meeting against Baylor in Waco on February 1st. There's a drive blocked by eBay. Felix behind the back. Felix cannot finish. A Gathers rebound.
Now Felix, he got too deep, Mark. Nowhere to go with Wainwright right there. Felix has got to pass that up, not force the issue, and see if you can connect with somebody trailing down the floor.
The first block today for eBay. He may get another. He does not. After Medford adjusted his shot. Came up off the right side. Into the lane. Driving. Not there for Davis. That's been the other part of the equation today, Brendan, for Texas. Some opportunities at the rim that haven't fallen.
Yeah, the few that they've had, they just haven't been able to convert. And when you're down, it's just magnified. Those misses are deflating.
Texas, one of their last 7 from the floor. Medford trying to get around eBay, shoots over him and scores as the shot clock expired.
And Baylor, the last 4 or 5 possessions, have worked that clock down with the big lead. You know, they don't have possessions where they take quick, bad shots.
eBay barreling in on Gathers. Power against power. And it's an and-one situation for Prince eBay. Third foul on Rico Gathers.
And this is something Medford gives you. If you don't have anything late in the shot clock, this is that old 2-guard inning. Get you some kind of look. That's tough right there. And then on this end, you get eBay, the look inside, and you wonder, you know, he goes out that first half, Mark, with 2 fouls at about the 9-minute mark. Texas was starting to settle down, take care of the ball, and they're trying to work their way back in. And obviously Shaka Smart had to send him to the bench, and they weren't able to maintain where they were. In fact, Baylor amped it up. Scott, Drew talked to you and I last night about when eBay's in the game, how different Texas is, because he's played so well here, particularly the last 7 ball games.
And made free throw to complete the 3-point play, allowed Shaka Smart to sub out eBay, bring in Claire for the defensive side here, and Claire's had a great offensive day, a career high 11 points. Prince collects. Missed the shot from in tight, but it goes off Lammert and stays with Baylor. Under 8 to play now here in Austin, and it's a 20-point game. Here in Austin today, Oklahoma's lost 3 of their last 4. But right now, we got a Baylor Bears team that is playing with a lot of confidence.
Well, this team came into today 4-2 on the road in the Big 12, which is the best in the league. West Virginia also has 4 wins on the road. They're 4-3 right now. And I tell you what, there's nothing that builds confidence or gives you assurance that you're a good ball club than the ability to go on the road and play well. And making it more impressive, it's not like Texas hadn't been playing in a good way. 5 of their last 7 that they won coming in themselves.
Prince driving, had it knocked away, but is fouled in the process. Act there by Eric Davis Jr. Actually on Kendall Yancey, his first. And it is the 6th-team foul against Texas, but going to the line. The shooting foul is Prince.
And I tell you what, this game today, Mark, the winner, for multiple reasons, it would be important. When you look at the standings right now, Baylor and Texas both 8-5, 2 games behind the Jayhawks. And remember, assuming Baylor's able to close this out, Kansas has to go to Waco. And so certainly on paper, you know, you're within arm's distance of the Jayhawks if you're Baylor after today.
And that's Tuesday night in Waco, 7 o'clock Central, 8 Eastern on ESPN2. And of course you have KU playing to Kansas State later tonight. Who knows what's going to happen there? They've had their issues there.
Yeah, exactly, Mark. 3 of KU's next 5 on the road.
Motley a block. He's done a little bit of everything. One thing he's done a lot of today is scoring. Freeman around and in. He has 8 points. The drive and the score from Eric Davis. Impressive freshman for Shaka Smart. Long pass over the top, and you had Shaq Claire basically acting like a cornerback. Just put his hands up to get a piece of that. KU's at K-State tonight, 6 Eastern on ESPN2. Then they're in Waco Tuesday night, as we mentioned. Have a hot Texas Tech team next Saturday in Lawrence. They'd have to come here on the 29th and finish it off in the regular season with Iowa State in Lawrence.
That's a tough road schedule. Rivalry game later today in Waco, in this building. Those 3 road games. And you're not going to catch Kansas if you're Baylor and you lose another one. They'd have a lot of other work to do. But again, that's what makes this game so big.
Free throw miss for Prince, who's been their team leader, coming in at 85% on the year, but he does have 15 points today. Playing with 4 fouls. Taylor, acrobatics. The and 1 for Isaiah Taylor.
Boy, he is terrific in space. Watch his first step. Boom. Motley was trying to rotate over. Had no chance right there. You know, and Taylor, 6'3". He's kind of wiry. He's stronger than you think. Can absorb contact and still finish.
And he's an 81% foul shooter. Unable to complete the 3-point play there. Motley, by the way, just picked up his 4th foul, so he's the only Baylor player with 4, and Taylor the only Texas player he's playing with 4. Medford. He's playing with a lot of confidence as well today.
And again, he gets the switch. Does not even wait to take Claire off the drive. That's been a theme for Scott Drew. You know, all these bigs over the years, the 4s and 5s that have been so good. But it's point guard play, how he keeps replacing guys. Tweety Carter, Pierre Jackson, Kenny Cherry. And then this year, from the 2 to the point, moves Lester Medford. He gets great point guard play.
Offensive foul against Kendall Yancey.
And the offensive foul by Kendall Yancey is second. 18 fouls.
Under 6 minutes to go in Austin. Again, when we're finished, we have Oklahoma at West Virginia, 4 o'clock Eastern here on ESPN. A resurgent Kentucky team coming up against Texas A&M also later tonight. Medford 11 points, a couple of rebounds, 3 assists. You know, we showed a stat right when the second half began that Baylor has not lost a game this year when they've led at any point in the second half. Here's Davis after the steal, fouled by Prince.
And it goes to number 21, Torian Prince.
I mean, this is a pretty remarkable statistic. When you lead at any point in the second half, you win.
Yeah, and
Shooting 2.
all 19 of those wins, they didn't have a 22-point lead in the second half. which makes that impressive. And I think when you look at Baylor, board play, most teams they play, they're going to have the edge. You got a healthy Rico Gathers, Motley, Maston, Prince, Wainwright. They're going to control the glass. Tremendous ball security with multiple ball handlers on the floor. And what you have to have offensively, too, is you have to have a guy step up and make plays.
That's against Medford. His fourth. He ran over Roach.
And Baylor has that. You know, Prince is kind of your guy that you build around, but Scott Drew wants to set something up for Medford. Late in the game, he can do that. If he wants to get Motley the ball, he can do that. If he wants to do a misdirection and free up a three for a Freeman, he can do that.
Claire. Career high 13 points for Shaq Claire. Lead was 27 for Baylor. Now it's at 18 with just over 5 minutes to play. Freeman a three. Gathers an offensive rebound. Roach had fallen to the floor.
Well, this is a great stat. Rico Gathers, when he's in the game, rebounds 20% of Baylor misses.
And there he's able to lay it in.
Think about that. So 1 out of every 5 times that his team shoots, and that's not 1 out of every 5 offensive rebounds that his team gets. It's 1 out of 5 shots that go up. Rico Gathers gets the offensive board. And that's #1 in the country.
Loose, tied up. Possession arrow to Texas.
Sharing of the ball, it's just not in the backcourt. There's Wainwright to Rico Gathers. And good to see Gathers today playing well. Looks like, you know, for a guy that's missed 2 of the last 4 games, Mark, Wynn looks pretty good. We know he's not 100%.
He had started a school record 132 consecutive games. Actually played in a school record 132 in a row before sitting out the February 10th game against K-State. Texas is going to need more of those, but they hold it to 17. Just their third, make that 4th, made 3 of the game, and the foul, Claire on Wainwright.
Well, good to see Mack knock that down. And you look at Texas, hey, they haven't played well today. They have to have amnesia and move on. Mack, one of those good, solid freshmen that Shaka Smart has.
2 shots for Ish Wainwright. 3 points today. 4 rebounds, 4 assists. 1 made field goal was a 3 early in the first half. Two big-time matchups coming up for you later. First in college hoops at 6:30 Eastern. 14th ranked Kentucky faces Texas A&M here on ESPN. Then at 8:30 on ABC, the NBA, Steph Curry and Golden State against Chris Paul and the LA Clippers. 1 of 2 for Wainwright. Four minutes to go at Austin. Mack scores.
That's nice right there. Mack's going to be a good one. There's really a 3, but he's had to play the 4 with the loss of Ridley.
Could not catch up to Prince, who lays it in, and it's a timeout Baylor with 3:35 to play here in Austin.
Introducing Nashville hot chicken tenders. I visited every...
Fired up right now. Pitt and Syracuse's James Artis for 3.
Yeah, you can screen the top of the zone, find an open look. He's got a double-double in this one. Nice shot.
Pitt has a 6-point lead over on ESPN2. And just a reminder, first ever meeting when both are ranked in the top 10. Oklahoma, West Virginia coming up under 8 minutes from now. Mark?
And thanks. We'll look forward to that Big 12 matchup coming up from Morgantown here shortly. Here in Austin, 73-55. 25th ranked Baylor leading 24th ranked Texas. A game that Baylor has led throughout. Rebounding edge has been big for Baylor today. Not as big as it was earlier. 27-19 right now. 3 from Davis from the corner and rebounded by Freeman.
Well, Baylor, along with West Virginia in this league, the two teams that really try to take that end of the floor away from you. Very
Stolen.
difficult.
Here's Felix, and he'll lay it in. 4 points for Javon Felix. Prince goes tumbling over Claire. He gets some help to his feet, but with the hobble.
Well, this will make you hold your breath a little bit if you're Scott Drew. Good job of. Is that a graceful fall, Mark?
Looks like he adjusted it. I thought there was more contact looking at it live, but there really wasn't. It was more Prince trying to move left in the air.
Of course, you know, when you leave your feet, or maybe we don't know when you leave your feet, but been told when you leave your feet, you don't have your balance and strength. That it doesn't take much to get you off course.
Eddie Sutton didn't like you leaving your feet, huh?
He didn't like you leaving your feet defensively, but the advantage I had was I couldn't get off the floor anyway. So worked out well. What a good game for Prince. And they needed him to come and force his will here on the road, and he has done that.
And a little issue with one of our officials, Terry Oglesby, on the clock. Reset the shot clock. And coming up, 3rd-ranked Oklahoma at 10th-ranked West Virginia. John Shambi, Fran Fraschilla standing by with the call of that one from the Coliseum in Morgantown. Claire gives it up. Coach will shoot 2.
Little silver lining for Texas, Mark. That man right there, Claire. Very good game.
A career high 13 points and 6 of 9 shooting.
He demanded the ball, finished inside. You saw right there, a really good pass. There's his 13 points, 6 of 9.
Well, a couple of early fouls on eBay. He only played 8 minutes in the first half, and it seemed like today, Brendan, he was never able to find a flow.
Well, he has been so good for Texas as of late, and not just defensively, which we're accustomed to seeing him do in terms of protecting the rim.
Wainwright got popped, but they play on. Flipped to the baseline. Freeman. Medford, dribble drive, pull up, and scores. 13 for Medford.
You know, Wainwright could have very easily taken that 8-foot jump on the baseline with 5-6 seconds left on the clock. But you got to love that young man. Keep moving the ball. They got a better shot. Chew off more times. You don't need points at this point. You need to get that clock to keep moving. That's just an unselfish play and part of what is Baylor's character.
Let's take a look at our pivotal moment, brought to you by TD Ameritrade. And we were talking early on the telecast, Brendan, about your 4 keys for Baylor to win on the road today.
We felt like they needed to get 3 of 4, and you can check the field goal percentage defense. Rebound margin's been terrific. And they got a great performance right there from Jonathan Motley. And the turnovers have been manageable. And you got to be careful against Texas turning it over. Not so much that you give them opportunities, just that they typically do not turn it over.
They came in averaging only 9.5 turnovers per conference game. And have turned it over 13 times today, but turned it over their first 3 possessions of the game, which really was a tone setter.
And I think it gave Baylor defense confidence on the defensive end. We talk so much about confidence, right, on the offensive end. And Baylor knows that they've struggled to guard as of late. But this is certainly something that they can build off of to go on the road. Minute 25 left, and Texas has 60 points.
Freeman behind the back, lost it, but it's picked back up by Motley. He'll shoot with 2 on the shot clock. There's his first field goal miss of the game. He had hit his first 11. And then the foul charged.
And the first one, number 25, now Freeman. His second. Shooting 2 5.
2 shots for Felix. With just 75 seconds left in Austin. Coming up for Baylor Tuesday night, they will host Kansas 8 Eastern, 7 Central on ESPN2. Then they go to Fort Worth and Norman. We're finishing up against West Virginia in Waco.
And as of today, Joe Lunardi has Baylor as a 6th seed. Get a road win here. Chance to play Kansas and West Virginia. You got to think if they play well, they'd go win on the road at TCU. So they're working their way up the line, or at least have the potential to get to that 3-4 spot if they played well.
And if KU were to stumble tonight in Manhattan, then Tuesday night, Baylor would have a chance, perhaps, to tie for the conference lead. All still to be seen. Medford a miss. Under a minute to go. In Oklahoma and West Virginia coming your way here shortly. By Eric Davis. Texas, by the way, will be in Manhattan to play K-State on Monday night on ESPNU, and a lot to Motley. 24 points for Jonathan Motley. A 3 off the back rim from Tevin Mack. So Baylor will improve to 20-7 overall, 9-5 in conference, which actually ties their best start in conference history at 9-5. And Texas will drop to 17-10 and 8-6 in conference play.
Texas is going to have to put this behind them. They are a good basketball team that's had a lot of positives here in the last couple of weeks. But in terms of Baylor, I mean, this was a complete game at both ends. Motley was terrific, 24 points. And then you get Prince and his teammates contributing with a balanced attack.
78-64, Baylor wins it over Texas. Oklahoma against West Virginia coming up. We'll send you to John Shambi and Fran Fraschilla. For Brendan Manzer and our entire crew, I'm Mark Neely. Thanks for sharing this one with us. Let's send you to Morgantown, OU and West Virginia.